Okay, this is probably going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to attempt to build a form or show you a little bit how to use the form builder. I haven't used it exhaustively, but we'll give it a shot. So I'm going to call this individual, oops. And I'm going to say new, just so I can tell it apart from my ones that I have in there. And here you can put it into a category and the note type. And this is important to pick these because it sort of ties into the rest of the system. And let's create and open the builder. So here it looks like you have a lot of different things. They're not too scary. They're not too bad once you get used to them. So we'll just go ahead and sort of build a progress note. So we can have client information there, auto-populate. We have some things over here that we can auto-populate. So let's use client name. Let's use date of service. Let's use client date of birth. Let's use client ID. So right now, this is what that looks like. I'm not too thrilled about that. So I'm going to go in and edit, and I'm going to make it 2 columns. And as you can see, it'll go ahead and split them up, or you can add your own column break by clicking this here and then put it where the break wherever you want it. So 3 things can be over there. And again, this is just for purposes to show you how to do that. So I'm not going to be too picky. Time typed. And I'll show you what the differences are. So we'll go start time, and then I'm just going to put the time in there for end time. And go to preview again, and you can see the start time. You can actually type the entire time in. The end time, since we didn't pick the typed section, it's blocks. I don't particularly like them, but if somebody wants to use them, they can. I'm going to delete that and put the time typed in here and just put in time. And you can see now we could do both of them. So let's go ahead and make another section, and let's say attendance. And let's add a multiple choice to this. So we can call this attendance. You can put in here attended, excused, add option, canceled, an option, no show. And again, we can put layout columns. So let's just look what 1 looks like. So here's what it looks like with 1 column. Go back into edit, and let's do 2. And here's what it looks like with 2 columns. So I kind of like the look of the 1 column. So, and you can also, again, if it's you need to do an attendance, then you need to put that, and you'll get that little asterisk on there. So we'll go back into this area, and let's add another multiple choice, and we're going to say modality, and let's just do in person or telehealth. And again, we need to preview. Not really liking that so much. So let's make this 2 columns, and it breaks it up where I would probably want it broken up. And let's just put a short explanation, a short text here. Reason for cancellation. And we will put that, well, not quite liking that, so let's put the column break here. And we'll put that up there. And okay, I like the look of that better. So it's just a lot of playing around and seeing what's going on, and as we continue down. So let's add another section. Let's say if we could spell here, let's say discussion, and that might be a long text, and that, I don't know, talked about in session. And here, for the golden thread, we can click track in session notes, and that will then have the system look through your note for words to tie it to a treatment plan, like coping skills, talked about coping skills, talked about relaxation techniques. And if that is in your treatment plan, it will look and it will link it. And that's good for inspectors sometimes, for auditors. They like to see it linked, called the golden thread. So that is how we can link track in session notes. And we can do that with any sort of text areas we add in both the treatment plans that we build and the individual notes that we build. Let's go ahead and just add another section here, and we'll say assessment, and let's add a long text here and just call this affect. We don't really need to necessarily track the affect for the session note, so I'm not going to do that. Let's go ahead and add, actually, let's go ahead and delete that and add this, suicide HI risk, and you'll see what that looks like. It's a little bit, shows up a little bit better. And again, I don't necessarily like that, so I'm going to go with 2 columns, and as you can see, these are going to get bigger if you type, so there we go. So let's do that. And let's go ahead, a short one, let's say obstacles. And again, you can preview, that's going to be over there. That's okay for me now. And let's go ahead and add another section and call this plan. And I'm going to go ahead and start out with 2 columns for this. And let's go short text and say homework in between sessions. Let's add changes. Let's add recommendations. And let's add aftercare. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's not too shabby. So I would probably keep it like that. And then let's just go ahead and add one other section. And let's say signatures. And keep that too. And here you see you can add its signature. Let's say clinician only or supervisor cosign. And let's add another signature and say supervisor cosign. Take a preview. Okay, and this will go to the supervisor after this is signed. And required to lock, you have that choice or not. Other things, again, these are just some pretty things sometimes. A divider, you can put that in there. And you see it's over there. So that might not be what we like. So let's say full width divider. And let's put that there. And again, you can see that puts a little divider along the screen. So, and this is pretty much what the form will look like when the clinician sees it. I'm going to save that draft just so nothing gets down. We can add, let's say, for the modality instead of multiple choice, let's go ahead and remove that, and let's put a drop down there. So we will say modality, option 1, attended, no show, add an option, oops, canceled. And let's see what that looks like. Where did I put it? Oh, okay. Well, there we go. I put that down there. I don't think I can take it across the thing, so. And that's one thing you kind of have to get used to. Where did I put? Oh, attendance. So you sort of have to click on that and just make sure that you click in that a little bit. There we go. And now I'm in the right section. So see, even I'm making mistakes. Oh, I want to delete the multiple choice. What did I delete? I wonder. Okay. So as you can see, it takes some getting used to. Attended. Canceled. And again, required to lock. Take a look at, and now it's over there. So I'm not liking that over there so much. So let's move this column break down. And now it's a little bit better. And there you go. And there's a preview of everything. Just a quick one. I'll certainly have more tutorials up, and I do apologize for the traffic in the back, but it's just so hot in this darn room that I'm going to go ahead and save it. When you're done, just hit publish. Once it's published, it's published. You can't edit it. So now we can go back to our notes, and we should see something that says individual progress note new, which I just did. I want to set it to active because I want it to be a choice for clinicians, and let's set it as default. Why not? And we can get a look at it. This is what it's going to look like. Now let's say we just decided that we wanted to make a change. You know what? I'm not liking that. I'm just not liking that attendance there. So I want to make a change, but I can't because it's already published. I can copy it. So I just duplicate this. It's going to open into Publisher again, and I'm going to change this attendance from a drop down, and we are going to put it back to a multiple choice. And let's take a preview of that. Okay, but I'm not liking where that is. So let's move this down. Let's move that down. So to me, that looks a lot better. Let's save. No other changes I want to make. And let's publish that. And right now you can see the name is copy of individual progress note new. And I'm going to leave it like that just so we can tell it apart in the video. And you got this, and I think I just went through this last time. You can see what clinical area you want it in. You can make it the default, and you can make it active in this area as well. So let's go back there. Yeah, and let's look at the copy of the individual progress note. And you see we set it active, and we get to view it here. And there it is. And do not worry about these globes. That is for my system only. When I make something, I can share it globally with all practices, and it will be in your form library. So that is not something you will have. And there you go. Hopefully that helps a little bit. And there'll be more in the future when I get good at it.